Hello everyone, this is Squallcasting, bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. In this game we have Zeus. He was actually a programmer on the original StarCraft, and following its release he played it professionally, making him one of the older pro players around today. I do think he is retired from the professional scene now, but clearly he's still playing online for fun, because yes, this is a game. It should be enjoyable. And up here we have Nada. He too was a StarCraft programmer, also making him one of the more aged StarCraft competitors around. He is known for his fantastic macro and innovative strategies. He has had very consistently good results throughout his career in StarCraft competitions. In 2012 he did retire from Brood War play and moved on to StarCraft 2. Since then he hasn't had quite as much success with StarCraft 2. He's gotten into the round of 8 a handful of times in the DSL, and he did get 4th at the 2011 MLG Rally. So while he has not succeeded quite as much yet, he is still a very good, time-proven player. And Zeus sounding like he's having a little bit of lag, a bit unfortunate. So this will be the battle of long-time players. They are playing on Daybreak. There are 2 Xel'Naga watchtowers that can help provide sight over various attacking lanes. There are a lot of ramps and high grounds that you have to contend with. So there can be a lot of posturing, a lot of just kind of trying to figure out the best way to go at your opponents. And if you 1A at your enemy's base, I do believe you go from, say, here, all the way around to here. But if Zeus does that, he goes from here, up here, and then down here, and up there. So, say you both decide to attack each other at the exact same moment, you'll just miss each other entirely. So, that could be a little bit interesting. So Nada sending his SCV out to scout. Zeus going for the very fast command center. Yeah, threw that down even before his barracks. So very economically focused, whereas Nada got his barracks out first, getting his orbital. We'll see where he goes from there. He's letting his minerals build up, so I think this might be one Rax gasless fast expand. Yeah, it looks like that. SCV going down there, heading there to plop down the command center. Zeus following this up with 2 barracks, wants to be safe, going to use that early mineral lead to get him lots of minerals, and there goes Nada's command center. So both players moving into very typical macro-oriented play. Zeus going to try to scout up now, but Nada's definitely going to deny that with the Marines. We'll see if Zeus reacts in time to pull that SCV away. And he's just going for it, but no. That poor little SCV is now just a charred husk that fades from existence. Nada holding onto this watchtower so he can see what's going on. And Zeus throwing down a bunker to be safe. Getting his first Marines out now. So, pretty typical. Nada's expansion pretty close to done. Zeus is done. Orbital going up now. So he will surge ahead in the income as that mule gets put to work. Nada throwing out 2 more barracks to take him up to 3 total. Zeus getting a reactor. Oh, that's interesting. So we could see him go for a... Okay, that one's getting a tech lab, okay. I thought maybe he was going to then throw down a factory to get reactor Hellions, but his gas wasn't really appropriate for it, so I guess he just wants to get lots of Marines quickly, and since he has the bunker up, he feels safe enough to throw down that reactor with all the incredible amount of build time it takes. 50 in-game seconds, that's so long. And that's a lot of Marines you can't make. That's 2 Marines you can't build. But it does start paying for itself pretty quickly thereafter. So, Zeus a bit supply blocked. Throwing down a supply depot though, but never a good thing to be supply blocked. It just puts you behind and lets your opponent get ahead. So Nada getting a tech lab as well. Continuing to produce off, having a bit of anger. Wait, what was he shooting? The barracks, okay. Those Marines really didn't like boot camps, so they were like, ugh, gonna rebel for a second and then be a good kid again. I'll just say, oops, my bad, my rifle misfired. But 2 of them did it at once, so clearly they were collaborating. Nada just holding on to these watchtowers, so he has the very superior map vision right now. Zeus, though, looks like he wants to push out a little bit. He's got 2 Marauders, so at this early stage in the game when there aren't as many units, those can soak up so many hits. But that said, Nada has a lot of Marines. Let's actually take a look at the army supplies. Okay, they are identical. That said, Marines tend to do quite a bit more DPS than Marauders. So that would have been better for Nada, I think. And Zeus decides to pull back. He was just picking off Nada's Marines so he could then take the Watchtower himself. So just want to get back his share of the map control. Definitely a good thing. He does already have... No, he doesn't. Okay, he's getting his +1 armor first. Don't usually see that. Usually you see the +1 attack first. Wait, he has +1 attack somewhere else? Okay, there we go. Whew, that was confusing. Nada, on the other hand, getting combat shield and his +1 as well. We do have a factory going up for Zeus, so potentially wants to move into Bio, maybe? Or... yeah. 2 more barracks, so definitely going into Bio. Probably going to throw down a reactor pretty quick, and then a starport immediately after that. And Nada's doing the exact same thing. So both players mirroring themselves to a large, or mirroring each other to a large extent. Zeus, however, is going to have the upgrade edge. He already has that combat shield. He's getting stim now, and he will have +1 armor, whereas Nada will not. Nada also getting stim pack, but just a little bit behind. So, see how this turns out. Anytime you go for mirror builds, usually whoever has, assuming equal levels of micro, whoever has better upgrades is just going to kind of win. That's how it works out. So, Nada definitely needs to look at getting another NG Bay if he's going to remain competitive with this. But that said, there's a lot of other things that could swing it one way or the other. A single good drop can deal a ton of economic damage and potentially kill a building doing an upgrade. So, Nada's not in a huge amount of trouble, but he could get behind if he doesn't step it up with the upgrades. Nada, though, choosing to get a siege tank as well, so that's interesting. So it's going to be a tank marine build, I suppose. Going for a bit more of a immobile play style. He has 2 medevacs here, moving with a bunch of marines, swinging up the long way, so Zeus will not see this. And he could potentially load up those medevacs around here, and then go in for a drop behind here, take out a lot of SCVs before Zeus can respond, load them all back up, and then run away. So, yeah, he's just staying out of sight of that tower. I think this is going to be a drop. We'll see. Nada still deciding. Okay. Oh, just wanted to push in here, check for a third, I suppose. I still think you should go for a drop, though. There isn't really a lot here. Scans in, sees Zeus's army there, pushing forward. But looks like he doesn't want to be caught out of position to Zeus, so he's deciding to fall back as well. Zeus, though, looks like he wants to take this base. Or he's just going for a push himself. Okay. Not sure why he's leaving a single marine there. Maybe it's to keep an eye out for drops. But Nada decides to go for it anyways. Okay, so he's pushing up. He has a lot of marines. He's got the stim. He's got +1. These marines do... oh, but a brutal flank from Zeus. We'll see, though. Nada still has a lot of marines. Zeus does have the medevac advantage. So Zeus pushing forward, and he's kind of killing everything. Wow. Nada losing his medevac. Only 1 gets away. So very much a win for Zeus there. Well played by him. I do apologize for the bloop that just happened. I think I left my Facebook open and somebody's messaging me right now, so I will fix that later. But for now, we've got a game to watch. Hopefully they don't start spam messaging me and being very distracting. Nada's throwing down his third at basically the same time Zeus is throwing down the third. And Nada does have 3 tanks out with siege. So this could be very challenging for Zeus. Pure bio against tank infantry can be very challenging. Because if the tanks get a good position, you just can't engage into it without incurring enormous losses. However, Nada caught a little bit out of position here, and Zeus was going to be able to get a cancel on this command center unless Nada reacts incredibly quickly. Yeah, there's the cancel. And Zeus probably just going to fall back and just, you know, take the free win. Both players throwing down sensor towers just to keep an eye out for drops. Very intelligent. You really don't want to drop swinging in from here and killing a whole bunch of tech. And Nada looks like he has a small commando force here again, so he wants to drop in somewhere or do something. He has 1-1, so he is equal with Zeus now. And he's pushing forward. He's got the stim already. Zeus doesn't. Zeus stims in response. And Nada's going to clean this up, and he might force a cancel on this as well. Zeus, though, stimming up more units, and the medevacs are forced to lift up and run away. And Zeus, moving some units up here, might try to catch the medevacs on their return journey. Nada, though, looks like he just wants to go into the corner for now and just kind of hang out. And I might try to drop in later. We'll see. Ooh, oh, risky, Nada. What are you doing now? Oh, loses that medevac for free. Never a good thing. So Zeus definitely taking a lead here. His third is established. Getting the orbital now. Nada, on the other hand, still does not have. Okay, his command center is finishing up here, but he's gonna have to float that over. Now, that'll take a little while. That's a ways to go for a floating building, because StarCraft 2 floating buildings just don't move very fast at all. Nada, though, looks like he wants to push out. He's got these tanks. He doesn't yet have upgrades for them. He's working on them, and he's about to get. Oh, that's pardon me. That was Zeus's tab. Ugh. Okay, but Nada is getting his tank upgrades and getting 2-2. Alright, so Zeus is working on his 3 attacks and his 2 armor. So still ahead of Nada. And Zeus has started getting his own tanks. Oh, this could be so terrible for Nada. Walks straight into those tank shells, backs up to his tanks. Zeus scoots his medevac forward to get sight, picks off a few more Marines. But now Zeus's tank is being shot back. Stimming some Marines forward to try to kill it. And Zeus is good. Oh, Zeus, what's he doing? Losing so many Marines to those tanks. Definitely not a good result for him. Nada looks like he wants to push in and punish this base. Slowly sieging his tanks forward, keeping these tanks in a more defensive posture, protecting from flanks. Engaging in here, pulling back, trying to draw those Marines into the tank range. Probably going to move a few tanks forward in just a moment. Both players trying to get a better angle. Zeus looks like he might go for a drop counterattack, although he's taking all his medevacs with him. I don't know, not sure what he's doing there. Leaving this tank completely alone to just die for free. But yeah, looks like he's going for a counterattack with... Every single one of those infantry units has a personal healer. That's how many medevacs are there. Okay. Nada, though, hanging out here. We'll see if he wants to push forward or fall back. Looks like he's falling back for the time being. And his third is established. Got a single tank there for defense. Although if these units swing down there, they could kill that easily and then punish the base. Zeus, though, falling back. Ooh, looks like he might... Oh, Nada. What are you doing, Nada? This could be so bad. These units... Oh, losing all his tanks. That's terrible for Nada. That was 5 tanks that he lost for absolutely no benefit. Does clean up these units, but losing tanks is always so brutal, because they take a very long time to build. Unsieging these tanks... Oh, okay, those are Zeus's tanks. I can't read colors, apparently. And I don't know when you started reading colors, so... Excuse me. Zeus does have 3-2 now. Nada still at 2-2. So Zeus has a slight edge. He does have the 1 vehicle weapon attacks, but Nada has the same. And Zeus looks like he wants to establish here, potentially. Might try to expand behind that, using this push to defend it. And he did just finish up another command center. This might be just for a defensive planetary, we'll have to see. But he is building another one, so it looks like he does want to continue expanding. Okay, he's expanding up here rather than there. That is probably safer. And expanding there too, so a double expand. Very bold of him. Clearly he feels a little bit ahead and he wants to get further ahead. Nada definitely doesn't have a very good tank count yet. And Zeus has so many tanks. That is absolutely terrifying for Marines to deal with. Spreading these Marines out here nicely. Each player scanning the other, trying to figure out what's going on. Zeus choosing to fall back. Interesting decision. Ooh, tank's a little bit exposed, but his Marines surge forward and force Nada's Marines back. Zeus moving some units up here. Looks like he might try to run into the natural. But Nada seems to have a beat on that. He's heading up here. Zeus is going to need to run these Marines. Oh, he stims them and attacks. I don't know about that. He didn't kill very much at all. There were just way too many Marines there. And he's moving a bunch of units up there. Okay, he's leaving some here for defense. There are enough tanks there that if Marines try to stim forward and deal with it, they will lose a lot. But still splitting up his army feels a little bit risky. But that said, he feels he needs to defend this base as well. Nada, though, has a bead on it, drops it, gonna deal a bit of damage to it. But we've got a big battle here. Nada getting the better engagement, has a lot more Marines, but Zeus has more tanks to fall back on. Nada choosing to fall back for the time being. And Zeus stimming forward, might try to get some tanks and then fall back. Nicely played by him. Ooh, can't push too far. Nada still has the superior Marine count. And while 3 attacks are great, when you have that many more Marines, like, upgrades kind of don't count as much. Nada, though, definitely in a bit of trouble here. Zeus. Okay, this base has gotten fully established. This base is under fire, so it's not accomplishing too much. So he's not incredibly behind. And it looks like he wants to push up here now. But these tanks are going to be troublesome. He's lost all the Marines, though, so... oh, but he's falling back. Okay. Now it looks like he wants to break down these rocks and just move through this attack lane. Zeus seems to have a beat on it, though, so he's trying to position. Get some tanks set up. Nada scans forward and chooses to fall back. So lots of posturing, very typical of a mech play. This tank is making a very poor decision about where to drive. We'll see if he gets picked off. Ooh, run, tank! Oh, there he goes. So a little bit sloppy by Zeus, but that said, he has an enormous tank lead. He has 2 attack on the tanks now. Nada does as well, though. And Nada is 3-3 on his infantry now. Zeus also 3-3. So now they are all even on the upgrade, but Zeus does have a tank lead. And a gigantic siege up. This could be so painful. If those Marines fall forward 1 inch, they will get absolutely annihilated. Oh, stimming forward to try to take out the medevac, but loses something like 10 or 12 Marines. Definitely not worth it. That medevac's feeling pretty invincible right now. He's like, I've got about 12 friends with gigantic guns behind me. You do not want to try to attack me. He's going to head back a little bit, though. So, more sensor towers going down. Zeus has another one here, just to keep an eye on things. And that'll really let him know what Nada's doing. If Nada tries to move forward, he's going to see those dots moving, and will be able to respond in time with a scan. So, Nada trying to reposition for a slightly better concave, getting a very nice tank line set up. They'll be able to deal very effectively. A bit of a battle going on here. Some tanks being caught out in the open. But Zeus responds in time, brings some Marines up, and forces away Nada's force. Ooh, if he gets a good stim forward, he could catch that medevac. No, not going to happen. So Zeus has reestablished his base. He made a planetary, so we'll be able to fend off Marine drops quite effectively. And Zeus looks like he wants to do a bit of positional warfare here, stimming some Marines forward, trying to get a tank, not succeeding. That's so many tanks, though. And Nada just lost about a small village's worth of men. Zeus, though, losing a couple tanks, and Nada moving forward, gonna drop in on this. Zeus has some Marines to deal with it, but he's losing a lot of tanks in the process, down to 3 tanks, and Nada stims forward, gonna clean up the rest of these tanks, losing only a handful of Marines in the process. So not the best push by Zeus. Does still have a decent army here. Looks like he wants to try to flank around this side again, so trying very hard to do flanking attacks, but that can only be so dicey. If you divide your army up, you can lose all of it if the enemy gets a bead on it and then brings a large force to crush it. Zeus wants to do it, though. 2-pronged attacks are always better than coming from one direction, so he's getting some nice positioning here. He's going to be able to continue to push forward, Nada losing a tank for free. And this refinery is under fire. Nada looks like he wants to go for it, pushing up, taking out these tanks, and going to be able to push in there. Oh, but just falling back. Oh, Zeus pushing forward, taking out a bunch of Marines. Nada, though, sieging up. More Marines stimming forward. They get 1 tank, but the rest of the Marines are going to get cleaned up. So both players trading blows. Zeus, though, has a ginormous supply lead and has a significant bank of minerals and gas. So he is definitely ahead. This base, while it doesn't have a ton, it's definitely giving him a little bit of an edge, and at some point this base got killed. Okay, maybe these Marines stimmed over there and killed him when I wasn't looking. Alright, well that means Nada is base. He is only on 1 base, whereas Zeus has 1, 2, 3 mining bases. This one's nearly mined out, but it's still got a bit of life in it, so Nada definitely in a bit of trouble. Whole bunch of SCVs getting hit by tank shells. That's terrible for them. Nada trying to stim forward, take out this force, losing a lot, but comes from the side too, and yeah, he's cleaning everything up, so nicely done by him. But that said, he felt just way too far behind, saw these Marines, saw all this coming, and he realized it was over. So very well played by Zeus. the veteran player defeating Nada, the veteran player, effectively keeping Nada down on bases while also defending this base and this base, just getting far enough ahead in economy that Nada knew there was absolutely no way to come back. So thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.